Welcome to our video on discovering and nurturing your spiritual gifts. Have you ever felt a special connection to the world around you? Maybe you've had moments where you just knew something without being told, or times when you felt deeply in tune with nature or other people's emotions. If so, you might be one of the chosen ones, someone with unique spiritual abilities waiting to be explored. In this video, we'll dive into the fascinating world of spiritual gifts. We'll look at what they are, how to recognize them in yourself, and ways to develop and use these special abilities. Whether you're just starting to wonder about your spiritual side, or you've been on this path for a while, there's something here for everyone. Let's begin by understanding what spiritual gifts really are. Spiritual gifts are special abilities or heightened sensitivities that go beyond our everyday senses. They're like extra tools we can use to understand the world and connect with others on a deeper level. These gifts can take many forms, from being able to sense energy to having strong intuitions about future events. Some common spiritual gifts include clairvoyance, which is the ability to see things that aren't physically present; empathy, which allows you to feel and understand others' emotions deeply; and intuition, a strong inner knowing that guides you. There's also mediumship, the ability to communicate with spirits; and healing, the power to help others recover from physical or emotional pain. It's important to note that having spiritual gifts doesn't make anyone better or more special than others. These abilities are simply tools that, when used wisely, can help us grow and make positive changes in our lives and the lives of those around us. Now you might be wondering if you have spiritual gifts yourself. There are several signs that could indicate you have these special abilities. One common sign is having unusual experiences or sensations. For example, you might often see flashes of light or colors that others don't see, or you might feel physical sensations that seem to come out of nowhere. Another sign is having a strong intuition, or what some people call a gut feeling. This might show up as knowing who's calling before you answer the phone, or having a sense about future events before they happen. You might also find that you're often right about situations or people, even when you don't have all the information. Vivid dreams or visions are another potential indicator of spiritual gifts. These might be dreams that feel incredibly real, or that give you information you couldn't have known otherwise. You might also experience waking visions, seeing images or scenes in your mind that provide insight or guidance. Some people with spiritual gifts report feeling overwhelmed in crowded places, as if they're picking up on everyone's emotions or energy. Others might find that animals and children are naturally drawn to them, sensing their special energy. If you've experienced any of these signs, it doesn't automatically mean you have spiritual gifts, but it could be worth exploring further. The key is to pay attention to your experiences and trust your instincts. This brings us to an important aspect of developing spiritual gifts: self-awareness. Being aware of yourself, your thoughts, feelings, and experiences is crucial in recognizing and nurturing your unique abilities. It's about tuning into your inner world and noticing what's happening there. Start by paying attention to your thoughts and feelings throughout the day. Notice if you have any recurring thoughts or sensations that seem to come from nowhere. These could be clues about your spiritual gifts. For example, if you often have a feeling about what someone's going to say before they say it, that could be a sign of intuitive abilities. Listening to your inner voice is another important part of self-awareness. We all have an inner voice, but people with spiritual gifts often describe theirs as being particularly strong or clear. This inner voice might give you guidance, warn you about potential dangers, or provide insights about situations or people. To develop your self-awareness, try setting aside some quiet time each day to check in with yourself. This could be through meditation, journaling, or simply sitting quietly and noticing your thoughts and feelings. Over time, you'll likely start to notice patterns or recurring themes that could point to your spiritual gifts. As you become more aware of your potential spiritual gifts, you might want to start developing them further. One effective way to do this is through regular meditation and mindfulness practices. These techniques can help quiet your mind and make it easier to tune into your intuition and other spiritual senses. To get started with meditation, try setting aside just a few minutes each day to sit quietly and focus on your breath. As thoughts come up, simply notice them and let them go, returning your focus to your breath. Over time, you can gradually increase the length of your meditation sessions. Keeping a journal of your experiences can also be incredibly helpful in developing your spiritual gifts. Write down any unusual experiences, strong feelings, or vivid dreams you have. Look for patterns or recurring themes in your entries. This can help you identify which spiritual gifts you might have and how they're manifesting in your life. Seeking guidance from mentors or others with experience in spiritual matters can also be valuable. Look for reputable teachers or spiritual communities that resonate with you. They can provide support, share their own experiences, and offer techniques for developing your gifts. As you start to explore and develop your spiritual gifts, it's natural to encounter doubts and fears. You might question whether what you're experiencing is real or worry about what others will think. These feelings are completely normal and a part of the growth process. One way to deal with skepticism is to approach your experiences with an open but discerning mind. Don't automatically dismiss unusual experiences, but also don't accept everything at face value. Look for patterns and consistency in your experiences and consider keeping a record to help you evaluate them over time. It's also important to remember that you don't have to share your experiences with everyone. It's okay to be selective about who you talk to about your spiritual gifts, especially when you're just starting to explore them. Choose people who are supportive and open-minded. Building confidence in your abilities takes time and practice. Start small, perhaps by trusting your intuition on minor decisions and seeing how it goes. As you gain more experience and see positive results, your confidence will naturally grow. Remember, developing spiritual gifts is a personal journey. What works for one person might not work for another, so be patient with yourself and trust your own process. As you become more comfortable with your spiritual gifts, you might feel called to use them to help others. This can be a beautiful and rewarding aspect of having these abilities, but it also comes with responsibility. There are many ways you can use your gifts to benefit others. If you're empathic, you might use your ability to understand and support people going through difficult times. If you have healing abilities, you could explore energy healing techniques to help others with physical or emotional pain. If you have intuitive or psychic abilities, you might offer guidance to people facing important decisions. However, it's crucial to approach this with care and humility. Remember that your insights are meant to empower others to make their own choices, not to make decisions for them. Using your gifts to help others can be incredibly fulfilling, but it's important to maintain healthy boundaries. Make sure you're taking care of your own needs and not depleting yourself in the process of helping others. It's also essential to use your gifts ethically. Always respect others' privacy and free will. If someone doesn't want your insights or help, honor that. And be careful about sharing information about others that they haven't given you permission to share. As you develop your spiritual gifts, you'll need to find ways to balance your spiritual growth with your daily life. This can be challenging at times, but it's possible to integrate your gifts into your everyday routines in a way that enhances your life rather than disrupting it. One way to do this is to set aside specific times for spiritual practices like meditation or journaling. This could be first thing in the morning, during your lunch break, or before bed. Having a regular schedule can help you maintain your practice without it taking over your entire day. You can also look for ways to use your gifts in your everyday activities. For example, if you're intuitive, you might tune into your intuition when making decisions at work or in your personal life. If you're empathic, you could use your ability to create more harmonious relationships with family, friends, and co-workers. It's important to maintain healthy boundaries, both in terms of how much time you devote to spiritual practices and how you use your gifts in relation to others. Remember that it's okay to take breaks and to have times when you're not focused on your spiritual side. As you continue on your spiritual path, you're likely to encounter some common challenges. One of these is feeling overwhelmed by your abilities. Sometimes, especially when you're first developing your gifts, the experiences can feel intense or even scary. If you're feeling overwhelmed, it can help to ground yourself. This might involve spending time in nature, doing physical exercise, or practicing grounding meditation techniques. Remember that you're in control of your gifts. You can always take a step back if things feel too intense. Another common challenge is dealing with negative energy or experiences. If you're sensitive to energy, you might sometimes pick up on negative vibes from others or from certain environments. Learning protection techniques like visualizing a protective light around you or using cleansing rituals can be helpful. It's also important to remember that developing spiritual gifts is an ongoing process. There's always more to learn and explore. Stay curious and open to new experiences and information. Connecting with like-minded individuals can be incredibly valuable on your spiritual journey. Look for local spiritual groups or online communities where you can share experiences and learn from others. Just remember to trust your own instincts and experiences even as you learn from others. To help you get started with exploring your spiritual gifts, here are some practical exercises you can try at home. Remember, these are just suggestions. Feel free to adapt them to what feels right for you. To enhance your intuition, try this simple exercise. Before checking your phone or computer for messages, take a moment to tune in and see if you can sense whether you have any new messages. Write down your guess, then check to see if you were right. Over time, you might notice your accuracy improving. For energy awareness, try this technique. Sit comfortably and close your eyes. Rub your hands together vigorously for about 30 seconds, then slowly move them apart. Notice any sensations between your hands. You might feel warmth, tingling, or a slight resistance, as if there's an invisible ball of energy between your palms. To practice energy protection, imagine a bright white light surrounding your body. Visualize this light as a protective shield that deflects any negative energy. You can do this visualization anytime you feel you need extra protection. For developing clairvoyance, try this exercise. Choose an object in your home and study it carefully for a few minutes. Then close your eyes and try to visualize the object in as much detail as possible. Open your eyes and compare your visualization to the actual object. With practice, you might find your visualizations becoming more accurate and detailed. We've explored what spiritual gifts are and some common types of these abilities. We've looked at signs that might indicate you have spiritual gifts and the importance of self-awareness in recognizing and developing these abilities. We've discussed ways to develop your spiritual gifts, including meditation, journaling, and seeking guidance from mentors. We've also talked about overcoming doubts and fears, using your gifts to help others, and balancing spiritual growth with daily life. We've addressed some common challenges you might face and ways to handle them. We've emphasized that developing spiritual gifts is an ongoing journey of growth and learning, and we've provided some practical exercises you can try at home to start exploring your own spiritual gifts. Remember, everyone's spiritual journey is unique. What works for one person might not work for another, so trust your own instincts and experiences. Be patient with yourself as you explore and develop your gifts, and above all, approach this journey with an open mind and heart. Whether you're just starting to explore your spiritual side, or you've been on this path for a while, we hope this video has given you some valuable insights and tools. Your spiritual gifts are a beautiful part of who you are. By nurturing them, you have the potential to enrich your own life and the lives of those around you. Thank you for joining us on this exploration of spiritual gifts. We hope you feel inspired to continue your own spiritual journey. Remember, you have unique gifts within you. Trust yourself and enjoy the process of discovering and developing them.